Boker Tov, we are continuing in Mishlei Perek Vav, Pasuk Chaf Daled. So we mentioned yesterday the importance of mitzvah, kiner mitzvah v'torah or, derech chaim tochol musar, and then Shlomo tells us we got to make sure, so we're doing the good, but we got to stay away from the bad as well. Sur merav v'aseh tov, lishmorcha me'eshet ra, mechelkat lashon nochriya. Save yourself, guard yourself from a bad wife, and from the smooth talking of a non-Jewish woman. Wife, with a W, yeah. Lishmorcha me'eshet ra. So now, meaning the examples we're going to see in the next two Pesukim, and actually further, but we're just going to do two Pesukim today, is about a woman, how a woman could seduce, etc., and how he applies it to general guarding oneself of Averot. So guard yourself from a bad wife and the smooth talking of a non-Jewish lady. So that's the two things here. So he says, these two things, right? So these two things connect to, which we once spoke about, chemda and ta'ava. Chemda is the want to sin, where you don't even have the item in front of you, but you're at home, you're in your house, and you're already thinking about the sin. So if you're in your house and you're thinking about the sin, that's chemda, and that's, he says, like an eshet ra, a bad wife, where there's no good at all with that bad wife. So too, chemda, where we're talking about the bad wife, that there's nothing good to it, eshet ra in total. So too, when a person has this chemda, lo tachmod, has this want inside of him to sin, even though the thing isn't in front of him, that's chemda, and make sure to guard yourself and rid yourself from those type of feelings. And the next is ta'ava. Ta'ava is when I see the sin in front of me, now I want it. That's ta'ava. So that is the smooth talking of the nochriya, where she just comes in front of you. I'm at home, I don't want a non-Jewish woman. I'm at home, I'm sitting, and maybe I'm thinking about different sins, right? But I don't want that. But when she comes in front of me, now there's a ta'ava. So therefore stay away from that smooth talking. And then the next pasuk continues on this vein. Al tachmod yofia bilvavecha. Don't, and here's tachmod, again like we said, chemda. Don't lust for her beauty in your heart, because then it's not in front of you, it's in your heart. Don't lust for that. Ve'al tichachacha be'afapeha. And don't let her capture you with the wink of her eyes. That's again on the outside. So there's the tachmod on the inside, and there's ta'ava on the outside. So here as well, he connects this to a person that is, because the pasuk says bilvavecha, as we know in Shema, levavecha. It should have said libecha. Levavecha has two hearts, Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Hara. So he says sometimes we do things that we think it's for the Yetzer Tov, but it's also Avera. Or Avera, but he says to not do. For instance, he says here where a person says, I need to work very, very hard for Parnassah, for my children and for my family. And what happens is sometimes you're working so overtime and you're not putting effort in tefillah with a minyan, in learning Torah, etc. But though you think I have a good kavanah, no, I have to work so much for my kids and my wife, I have to so much. But hold on, you're falling in all these other areas. So that's the Yetzer Hara trying to get you to do that. So he says a person sometimes with chemda, when he has this inside of him, with Averas not in front of him, he's rodef tamid acharav. He's always running after it, even if it's not in front of him. So too, that could, in the good, so to speak, could be with Parnassah, where he feels he wants to run after it all the time, even though he could be okay with not the levels that he wants. And here he says, Yofia, al tachmod Yofia. Don't run after and have this chemda for her beauty. Beauty is, he calls it motarot, is the extras. We know the pasuk says at the end of Mishlei, sheker achen ve'evel yofi. The beauty is a lie, because the woman that's a yirat shamayim, that is the main thing. If you have a beautiful woman, which is not Jewish, a beautiful woman who's not yirat shamayim, it's not going to work. So the beauty is extra. So too over here, don't run after the extras, not to run after the extras and put tefillah and Torah on the side. Ve'al tikachacha be'afapeha. And don't, and this is now talking about ta'ava, don't get brought in by her wink of her eyes by when you see her, and now you're going to get brought in, you're going to see the ta'ava. So he says that what happens with ta'ava, what happens also many times in the non-Jewish relationship, a guy says, I never want to, and many times I've had this, I never thought I would get into this situation, or I would never want to get into this situation. But then he sees her, and then what happens is he justifies, as someone that have in mind, he's justifying. She's better than a Jewish woman, she's this, she's that. And what's with ta'ava? Ta'ava is, it looks good on the outside, but he says, v'hara tamunba, but the evil is inside, it's on the inside of her. He's like, oh yeah, it doesn't work, it's not supposed to go, right? So on the outside it looks good, but on the inside, so you have to make sure to see that inside. So tonight I'm not going to be here. Yosef is going to speak tonight, but this connects to something from the parasha as well. This week's parasha, it was last week's parasha. Edom, right? That Esav is called Edom. Last week's parasha. Why is he called Edom? The red. Give me some of that red stuff. Forever and ever, he's called the red. Well, why? He just had that red soup. He's called red. For the Goyim, as we see, now we're getting to their holiday seasons. Everything's the lights, everything. You scratch a little bit, there's nothing more behind it. We already give this example of you ask him, how tall does the tree have to be? How many lights? There's no halachot over there. At the end of their holiday, they throw their tree on the side of the road for the garbage, right? So that's Edom. It's all red. It's all flashy. You dig a little bit, there's nothing there. So to Ta'ava as well. Oh, wow, she's beautiful. She's better than a Jewish woman. I'm telling you, this and that. Look at it. On the outside, it looks nice and glimmer. You scratch a little bit, it's rotten on the inside. And that's why we have to make sure to guard ourselves from chemda, not wanting that averot, even when it's not in front of me, and ta'ava, when I see it, and the glitter and the edom is in front of me, to make sure to hold myself and not get to the evil that's hidden inside of that avera. Baruch Adonai Le'olam, Amen v'Amen. Rabbi Chananya, ben HaKashya Omer Ratzak Kadosh Baruch Hu, lezakot et Yisrael leficha chibad lem Torah Mitzvah shene'emar, Adonai Hafetz man tzidko, yagdil Torah ve'yadir.